Mr. Luke Williams. How are we?
I'm good. Happy to be here. How are you?
Good, mate. Really appreciate it. I know the Star Wars dads of our community find it hard to get reps and, get budgets to buy cardboard, all that stuff. But more importantly, time is the biggest resource we have. So thank you so much for your time.
Of course. Happy to do it.
Now, I'm sure you heard enough, but congratulations again, 4-time PQ champion. Yeah, only one I know of. So well done.
Thanks. Yeah, I think the first three I can probably put down to reps and a little bit of skill and a little bit of luck. But this one I got severely lucky to win this PQ. So I think this one I can put down to luck on the day.
Mate, it's I agree with you. But as they say, luck comes to those that come prepared. So we'll talk a bit about that.
Yeah, but when we get through the rounds, you'll see what I mean by how lucky I got to get this one.
Nah, looking forward to it. Now, for those that don't know Mr. Luke Williams, can you tell us a bit about your SWU journey? Possibly, have you played other card games before? Any accolades, or did you play any sports or anything like that? Is also valid. So tell us a bit about. Introduce yourself to the community.
Yeah, great. So I've got a long history of playing TCGs. I picked up Magic when my brother brought home a 7th edition starter deck when we were 12 or something.
Oh, wow.
He dropped off, but I continued to play competitively all the way through high school, well, relatively competitively. And then when high school finished up, so I was about 18, I won my first PQ, which was essentially the Magic equivalent of a PQ.
Wow.
But it got you flights to the Pro Tour, so played on a few Pro Tours, then decided that, wanted to go to uni, get a career, get a job. So I sort of stopped playing Magic and focused on that stuff, only to come back to Magic in 2019. I played a lot of a format called 7-Point Highlander, which is a pretty, like a competitive Highlander format, Eternal, so some of the older cards. And then COVID hit. And I was kind of like, well, maybe I'm done with cards. Maybe I'm done with card games. I had, my advertising career and my family was sort of kicking off. I was like, maybe this is it. But then I went to Vascar Forge, which is a local card store in WA, owned by some mates of mine.
Great place.
Great place, great people, fantastic spot. And I drafted Spark of Rebellion. And I was like, I'm back in. Because I just loved it. I loved it so much. I loved the way the game was put together. I loved Star Wars. It was just a perfect combination. And ever since then, I've been going pretty hard on SWU. Yeah, I'm a SWU addict for sure.
So, out of a trick question, SWU or MTG?
SWU. So especially with the direction that Magic has taken in the recent years, with Universes Beyond.
I'm not a Spider-Man fan, but I know some are. So
I'm not a huge Spider-Man fan, but here we are.
Mate, very, very glad to hear that you actually do know Star Wars. We have some very competitive card game players that love the mechanics and our game and our community, but have no idea about who Leia Organa is. So.
For Blake those, Moody from WA is an offender. He played Destiny, which was the obviously predecessor to this game, and then into Unlimited. And he went back and watched the movies, and he's watching Star Wars Rebels to figure out if there's any hints for what cards work together in SWU. So he's doing the deep dive.
Mate, to that Mr. Moody, I thought it would be a good sort of segue. So, SWU-AUSTRALIA, me, myself, and I decided to rank every single Australian PQ winner. And another congratulations, you are the man in green that has got based on my ranking ratings, have got 100% top cut conversion. And 100% PQ attendance to win ratio. So 10 points to you, which is the highest. My son has actually mathematically confirmed that 10 is the highest points in my rating system, and you're our only 10-point winner. So what do you think of that? Well, P.S. Mr. Moody is also here, ranked number 4.
Yeah, there's some really incredible Australian players in this list. I think that this list obviously takes into account PQ results and factors of how many you've played and how many you've converted. So I think it's a reasonable representation. But the players on this list are really, really good. So it's really exciting to see this sort of Australian talent coming up through this game and focusing on it. You know, some of the Scoop City guys, some of the Baddest Batch guys, and then some of the non-team guys in this list. You know, watching them play on stream and watching them talk about it in the SWU-AUSTRALIA Discord, they really know what they're talking about. So it's really awesome to see.
Yeah, no, it's I can't agree with you more. I mean, one of the thing about the Discord is just trying to connect really good Australian talent and prep whoever's willing to take on the world together, right? Because
yeah, totally.
You know, Magic or Pokemon, we have a very good scene. We've got very high skill level players. Expensive plane tickets to go travel to the world, but I know Victoria is, you know, just like we've got a very healthy scene for Star Wars, we've got a very healthy scene for Pokemon, and we've got a few world champs in Pokemon in Victoria. So, you know, hopefully with you, and, you know, we know that you come and join us for our Sunday weeklies, you know, just connecting you and some of the community members, we can just raise the tides, I guess, for all the boats.
Yeah, absolutely. What's really exciting about this list is how many people aren't on it. Like in WA, there's, you know, you've got your Oscar Blakeney, you've got your Matty Walkers, your Tim Vallettas, who are sitting there just on the precipice of the PQ scene, who are killing it at weeklies and, you know, really learning the game. I can't wait to see them when they get more opportunities to play more PQs, to see them on this list. It's really exciting.
You just got to stop being a gladiator and just pushing them all off the tower. You know, it's just
Yeah, it's been quite the run for sure.
Mate, so let's talk a bit about the list now. Is Sabine your favourite character, or you just like aggro?
So I've always been a bit of a beatdown player when it comes to TCGs.
So Magic is red, right? Yeah.
Yeah, the red deck wins. The slide was always sort of near and dear to me. And in my third ever pack in SWU, I opened a Sabine showcase.
Oh, did ya? You pulled that yourself?
Yeah, I pulled it myself at the one that's actually in that I play with. I pulled it at Best Guy Forge, and I sort of looked over to Aaron, who's the owner. I'm like, "Is this a good one?" He's like, "Lucky Luke, he strikes again." But I actually got it graded, which was stupid because it came back in 8. And then I was like, well, playing with it graded was awful. So I got clippers out to take it out of the PSA case.
I did notice on the video that your thing isn't even in a hard case. It's just in a normal deck protector.
No, because I took it out of this PSA case and I completely biffed it. So now it's got giant gouges through it. It just looks awful.
Well, that actually just showcases how much reps you've had with her. So well done.
So many reps.
It's so good. Now, we're not going to bore the tears. Shout out to the Baddest Batch and yourself. I know you've done a very good deep dive in the Sabine archetype video. I'll see if I can link it, or you know, you've gone into really key cards. There's literally no set 5 cards here. So
set 5 was a miss.
Now, tell me, we're not going to talk about the matchups, but I'm just going to ask you some questions as a Sabine player myself about some of your choices. So, a lot of people are off the Luke. Why are you on the Luke?
I was off the Luke until about 9 o'clock the night before.
Of course, the best time to make decks, yeah.
So the PQ actually had an event before on the Saturday, which was the team event.
That was so good. Basketball did that.
Which was awesome. We raised
so good.
$4.5 grand for charity. So good. You know, telethon. It was a really good event put on by Baskar, and generosity of the West Australian and East Coast was just amazing. But I played in this event and I had Spec Force Soldier in my deck. It's just such a mopey card. Like it's not even particularly good into Chariot. It's not particularly good into anything you want to do. It's just not a very good space. So I cut it and replaced it with the 2 Luke last minute, mainly because
Green.
I didn't want to go beneath down to 12 turn 1 drops. Like I wanted to have 4 Green Squadron, 4 Phoenix Squadron. 3 Green Squadron, too much magic. 3 Phoenix Squadron, 3 Battlefield Marine, and 3 Sabines.
Yeah.
But you really want another couple.
Yeah.
And your options get a little lighter there. And I thought with Force Throw being banned, it's far more likely that putting Luke onto an A-Wing or a 2-drop in space was going to get you there. It's a really powerful card, so I'm not sure why it's not as taken up across the board. But yeah, that was the reasoning to putting it in.
I think some Sabine players pretend to have skill and trying to play around upgrade hate so they don't play it. But I think sometimes
but it's the best card against upgrade hate because they confiscate and you get a 3/2. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Mate, I just remember trying to buy this early on as a Sabine player. It was very expensive, that card, and I definitely think it's underplayed at the moment. So
trust me, I have some cards in my Sabine hyperspace foil deck that have gone down in value, but that's okay. That's for the love of it.
Oh mate, I noticed you blinged out. Now, 1 red 5, and you drew it against the deck you needed to, which we'll watch a bit later. Is this for the? I know it just adds a whole bunch of lines, but you're one of the only people that play it.
I would love to tell you that this was some big brain genius maneuver, but actually, Matty Walker, who is from WA and is a bit of a Sabine nuffy as well, just told me to put it in the deck. So I did. There wasn't much more to it. He just said, "Hey, you should really play this card. I think it's better than I had red 3 in there for a long time."
Yeah.
And he basically convinced me that it was better than the 3rd wing leader.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of trust in him and his ability to build decks, something that I'm notoriously terrible at.
Yep.
He gave me a list for the last PQ and beyond. He gave me my 60 and I just played it and won that PQ. So a lot of trust in him. So when he says play red 5, I just play red 5.
I can't agree with you more. Some people are better pilots and some people are better engineers. That's just the way it is. So
terrible at building decks. So,
now
trust your network.
I've highlighted Sundari Peacekeeper. As a Sabine addict, I know it's always Fighters for Freedom or this guy. And Tarkin Town meta is softer. Why did you put Sundari Peacekeeper in these days instead of Mr. Anti-Turret Fighters for Freedom?
Yeah, I think the choice to have Peacekeepers was definitely a Perth-based decision. Perth is notoriously very aggressive.
Gotcha.
A lot of Sabine, a lot of Vader,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of. Well, I was expecting a lot of the small cat deck, the cat 1/2 drop deck,
Winnies,
aggressive
yep.
cat deck.
Yep.
And Sundari and I also was not expecting very much Ray Data Vault and sort of the more heavy Data Vault decks that the Fighters is good against. A lot of was Boba, which I think Sundari is a lot better against Boba than Fighters is.
Makes sense.
So it just made more sense to have Sundari in the main.
Now, another thing is, everyone's playing different toys with heavy cannons and everything to kill turrets. I noticed here you just went and said, I'm going to kill him with Darksaber.
Yeah. Yeah, you really... It's not very... I don't think the card's very good in a lot of ways. I think turret kind of sucks. Because...
Don't tell Clint, he's got PTSD on that card.
Like, it's obviously... It's quite a wall, and I think it does a lot of work, but the ability to position your board in a way that actually makes it very hard for them to get the force is the way that you beat it, not through cards that are specifically good against it. Like Attack the Pod as an example, which I think is the four cost event that deals damage equal to your toughness. Is it called Attack the Pod? I think so. It's the green one.
Yep.
Basically, you flip your Sabine, they play Chariot, you attack the pod, and it's like you spent your whole turn killing the turret and attacking for 3. Like it's just not really what aggro decks want to be doing. So I think the ability to have a Cassian on 3, Fleet Lieutenant into it. I think Sabine with a Darksaber on it, attacking into it, and then using your other Sabine to kill it. There's just a lot of ways that you can beat it, and then even later, like if you just go to space and then later just Wrecker or Poe to deal with it, and then just keep your Sabine unflipped, is just positioning your deck in a way that it's lessening the impact of a card. But if you just play into it, obviously it's going to crush you. But you just got to go to the other side.
Makes sense. Don't give him the force, so it just becomes a vanilla 3/5.
Yeah.
No, makes so much sense. I'm just looking at your side. Everything else here seems very nice. I am a big wing leader lover. People that got rid of that card are mad.
Huge fan of wing leader.
Yeah. There is a question. Four-stroke's gone. Medal ceremony's not there. Is there a place for medal ceremony again?
Yeah, I think medal ceremony is in a weird spot right now, mainly due to Chirrut. The ability to and Chirrut and the way that the mid-range decks are set up is that you really want to be ECLing with Wrecker and Poe way more often in those matchups.
Yep.
And if that's like a reasonable spread of the kind of decks that you're going to be playing against within a tournament, then medal ceremony gets a lot worse because you only really want medal ceremony decks that you are ECLing on 3 or 4 rather than 5 or 6.
Makes so much sense.
And you don't really want it against matchups that are kind of bad for you, like Vader, as an example, Vader Yellow. Like, you don't want medal ceremony there.
Now, I'm seeing in your sideboard, besides the heroic sacrifice, which is always a Hail Mary, Poe for 10, fantastic. I feel like there's a lot of respect for space decks here in your sideboard.
I'm terrified of them. Just literally nightmare stuff. Vader especially. The fact that Vader is such a accessible deck.
Yeah.
It's $50 or something. Like, it doesn't cost very much money.
Yeah.
And can just kill you. Like, it can just absolutely. I think it's a bad matchup for Sabine. So I just needed to pay it some respect.
Yep.
Unless you obviously go red 2-drop into Sabine's Masterpiece, then you're generally going to win those games. But that's not a huge percentage of the games. And 9 cards, 10 cards in your main deck just suck against them.
Yep.
So your 3 Poes, your 3 Wreckers, your Chewies, and your 4 Causes are just terrible cards into it. Yep. So what I wanted to do was construct a sideboard where I could actually just bring 10 cards in against Vader Yellow,
yep,
but still have game against the rest of the field. And this is the board that I ended up with.
Did you sideboard anything else for the non-space decks? Did you bring in much?
Grenade Strike was there for that Cad Weenie deck that we've been talking about, which was on my radar, mainly because I thought sort of 2 relatively strong players at WA in Oscar and Ash. I thought they were both going to bring it. Ash didn't end up bringing it. He brought something else, but Oscar did. Those come in, obviously. MC30 is a good card across the board, and any deck that has space units, or even the 1/4 in space that has Sentinel, that one.
Conquer Dawn.
It's good. Yeah, it's good against Conquer Dawn. But yeah, it's a really heavy Vader Yellow sideboard because that was the matchup that I was least happy about going into it.
Not that I stalk you or anything, but your main board, I mean, I seriously think it's the same list you run some other time. But anyway.
It's pretty close, to be honest. Well, like, people are moving off Darksaber and putting in Yoda's lightsaber, and they're definitely trying to innovate, which is cool. Yeah. I love that.
Now,
but Darksaber is just fucked. Like, it's so good. So I think that people need to come back.
Mate, I agree. Look, there is the world where the Yoda a plus a 2-drop going wide is the better play, but a Darksaber is a Darksaber. So
yeah, it's really interesting. Sabine players are like complaining about Chirrut and like, hey, you can't beat it, but then they're putting like +3/+1 in their deck instead of Darksaber. And it's sort of like, well, yeah, you're gonna have to use 3 cards to kill it versus 1. It's just a really interesting dynamic to see so many players on Sabine complain about Chirrut, but then not put Darksaber in the deck, which is just so clean. Yeah, it's a bit weird.
Nah, nice. Now I'm going to skip to our Basker Forge, your run. So I've just got here your tournament path.
I've got that up too.
So, mate, what was the record? You got...
So,
correct me if I'm wrong. You lucked into the top cut a little bit.
Yeah.
So actually, before we go there, tell me about your tournament run. Is there a funny moment or a highlight that you can share with us?
Yeah, definitely. So the day obviously kicked off okay. I played against Emil on Kazuda, which was great. Managed to get that one and then head over to the park across the road where there was a fair, and I got a coffee and a ham and cheese croissant. It was pretty good.
The breakfast of champions. Yeah.
Yeah, it was not bad. Then I came back and played Joff S, who was on Admiral Piet. And that Piet red matchup is always so tricky because I think your deck should be good against them. Like you should beat them a lot of the time. But there's just draws that they can have. Like if they respawn Piet into Invisible Hand or into Raider and then obey Overwhelming Barrage, you can just lose. You just lose on the spot and they can just actually race you.
Yep.
And that's what happened in these two games. So I was kind of like, I won game one and then lost two on the trot.
Yep.
And at that point, so full disclosure, I've come a long way in my tilt journey. Used to tilt, used to be a bit of a salt mine. To my own
salt mine.
To my own. To my. And I think I've come a long way in that, which is good.
Must be a Western Australian term, mines. Salt mine.
Yeah, salt mine. Yeah. This wasn't my best day on the tilt front. I definitely had a few moments where I was like, well, this is all... but that's okay. It is what it is. So, yeah, I lost to Joff. He played a great game, so I can't really complain. And then I got paired into teammate, Baddest Batch member Clint.
Yeah.
And this was on camera.
Yeah.
And I think the official term is I completely smoked him. He didn't stand a chance. No, he had some bad draws and so I had some really good draws, so I managed to get over that, which was good. Then into round 4, I played against Dez. Dez is a long-term Destiny Unlimited just card game player in WA. And he was on Hunt Blue.
Yep, Force.
And I won game 1, which was great. Stoked to win game 1. And then he won game 2 in what was a pretty tight one. And then he won game 3. But I just it was a really weird moment where I just had this almost out of body experience where I was like, I'm gonna lose. I'm not gonna make top 8 of this PQ. It's not gonna happen. And I was I was pretty upset at that point, which was weird for me. But anyway, so then I kind of came to terms with that. I was like, okay, cool, but I'm still going to hang out and watch, and the Baddest Batch guys are here, and we're going to have fun.
So actually, just pause there for the people that you've done a lot of competitive card games since you're 12, right? Getting tilted, I've been there. So, what is the process that you personally go through? Do you go for a walk? Do you go for a massage? What do you do? Eat apple? What do you do?
Yeah, I wish I had a clear thing. I basically complained to Blake for about 15 minutes, and then
have a friend, call a friend,
and then he goes, "What are you talking about? You just lost, man!" He really brings me back down to earth, and I go, "Oh yeah, no, I just lost at a card game, and that's okay, and we'll continue on. There's more important things in life." But nice. I definitely need someone else with me to get off tilt. I need someone to bring me down from it. I can't do it myself, which is problematic for a lot of reasons. But I need to go have a chat with somebody and say, hey, this is what happened this way. This is why I'm on tilt. And then, when I get a response like Blake's, which is like, yeah, but whatever. It really helps me contextualize it and move on.
Mate, it's actually really solid advice. And, this is another thing. I know other card games have very different community and attract different people. Our community, I believe, is constantly being told we're some of the best people and most level-headed people around. Oh,
totally. It's fantastic. And WA is no different to that. Everyone in WA is just fantastic. Yeah. We have barbecues at pre-releases. Everyone gets around it. It's a really good space to play SWU. So
mate, we're missing out. Where are these barbecue pre-releases? We got to get us some photos next time, mate. Yeah.
Beskar.
Yeah, they're good
boys. The best game in town.
They're good boys. Now back to round number 5. You got off your tilt.
Well, somewhat. I got paired into a Vader green player who'd flown in, lovely guy. Yeah. And I won game 1, and then lost game 2.
Yeah.
And in game 3, we're in this spot where I'm on 19, and he has a Vader flip to the ground.
Yep.
And he has a 1-1 on the TIE Fighter in space. And I have a wing leader.
Yep.
And so I claim, thinking that if he attacks my base and I go to 20, then I have to draw Rebel Assault, Fleet Lieutenant, or Heroic Sacrifice, of which I had 5 copies across those 3 cards because I'd resource 2.
Yep.
And about, I don't know, 30 cards left. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm probably a 1 in 5 shot. If he attacks the wing leader, then I've got sort of more outs because I get to attack and he attacks my base. And he attacks the wing leader to trade, and I'm ecstatic. And I'm like, cool, we put it in the bin straight away, right?
Yep.
And then he goes, oh, hang on. But nothing's changed at that point. No information has been revealed. So he's well within his rights to take it back and make a different decision.
Yep.
And he does that, and he attacks my base. So then I'm in a spot where I have to draw 5 out of 30, so 1 in 6 chance to win the game. And the learning is, I just acted way too quickly. I just slammed my wing leader in the graveyard. Like, I just slammed it. I'm like, okay, well, this is sick. Okay, draw 2 cards. But actually, by doing that, I gave him pause to go, oh, have I messed this up?
Gotcha.
And of course, he still had a window to go back.
Gotcha.
So I just took a minute and go, well, stop doing that. Stop giving your opponents the ability to buy your own actions, right? If I just put my wing leader in the bin and gone, okay, I'll be ready to go. He goes, yes, draw 2 cards. Then I'm in a much better spot. But because I rushed it, because I was like, this is sick, this is great, this is exactly what I wanted you to do, I put myself in a worse position. So I just have to remind myself to always just stay calm, do your actions, don't emote at the table. Anyway, I drew the Heroic Sacrifice and was able to kill him anyway. So that was sick. But there was a learning in it.
Mate, I don't know any good sports person that doesn't self-reflect and find,
you have to.
You know,
that's how you get better.
How do you become better next? And then the guy that helped you get off tilt, you put him into tilt, I believe.
I did. So these games were... So Blake and I have a long history of playing incredible on Han versus Sabine matchups.
Yep.
He, without pumping up his tires too much, he is so good at SWU. Like, he's incredible at deck building, incredible at playing the game, incredible thought processes behind it. And there's sort of 2 key takeaways from this match that I think are important. The first one was in round 1, he in the first game, he cured me, and I had Darksaber in my hand. And for my money, Darksaber was the obvious take. And he says Darksaber, but then goes, oh, hang on, let me think. And he goes into the tank. I'm like, what's he thinking about? But he's thinking about naming Poe. I don't have a Poe in my hand.
Gotcha.
But he's thinking about naming Poe, because if I draw Poe,
You'll
that's the
blow
only way I'm really going to win the game, right? Which is a great level to be on, that you're thinking that far ahead, because I think he had a bamboozle, so he's like, well, Darksaber's not so bad. He ends up naming the Darksaber. I end up drawing the Poe, and I beat him. Which is tough. But I think naming Darksaber was the right decision. But I just loved that he was in that space, thinking about it in that way. It just showed me the level that the guy operates on, which is just well beyond my own, and well beyond, I think, many SWU players.
But I've only played him online, and he was playing House and Red, and I can't remember what I was playing, but he was just saying, oh, if you have this card, I'm totally dead. And I'm like, man, I've just picked up this deck by net decking. How do you know all the cards that I've got in my deck?
He's a freak. He's incredible. I mean, he was incredible at Destiny. He's incredible at SWU.
Yeah.
He just loves Star Wars card games, and he's great at them. So his draw in game 3 was dog shit. And I think it was resupply Han. Like, it was that kind of level of bad, very clunky, and I was able to get that one.
Because if you ask, 100 Han 1 green players around the world, they'll actually say it's a favoured matchup, right? Into Sabine. So, yeah. Yeah,
I think they would. I'm not sure if they're right, but I think they would say it. But
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see.
Yeah.
A lot of the opinions shared on SWU right now, well, I'm just like, okay, all right, maybe.
I think some of the content creators say the right thing. It's not like Magic or Pokemon where they've got huge online leagues and there's such big sample sizes of data. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So it's really interesting
so
to hear some takes. But so I was able to beat Blake, which was always a good sign for a tournament. I've always said that if you want to win a tournament in WA, you have to beat Blake.
Yep.
So that's sort of the first step. And I managed to do that in the quarterfinals.
Just puzzle me. Blake has never actually won a Perth PQ. He's only ever won a PQ outside of Perth where you weren't.
But that's not an indication of skill level. He's far above my abilities, let me tell you. But yeah, the Perth PQs have obviously been...
I just hope he rewinds this video and listens to that segment for a poor second, just to come after you. Now we're going to skip your take on Theobald's match because we're going to run that through deep.
Great.
Talk to us about the finals, mate.
I want to talk about Maddie Mercer. So I want to talk about, not the finals in the way that they happened, but I want to talk about Maddie Mercer as a player. Maddie, I think, came from Pokemon, moved into SWU. Mm-hmm. And when he started playing SWU, he was very green, didn't know what was going on. But he has worked at it over the last 6 months. First he got a top cut at a showdown, and then he got and he was pretty pumped about that, I remember. And he just goes to weeklies, he practices on Caravast, he just goes about his business, and then bang, just does an unbelievable run at the PQ, goes undefeated all the way up until the finals, which was just such a good result for him. And I'm so stoked to see a player who's come into it a little later, doesn't have like a huge TCG competitive background, work really hard, put the reps into his deck, play something completely off meta. Like he's playing Luke Skywalker, Hero of Yavin, ECL. Like he's playing a different deck, and make the finals of a PQ. Like it was really a great story, and everyone was rooting for him. So, but yeah, the matchups were tricky. I think, to Matty's own admission, he made a few ECL errors where he could have eaten for a bit more value than he did, and I was able to get there basically just by doing a pretty straight base race in two, and in game two I which he disabling Fang fighted, which I then replayed another Darksaber on Sabine, and that was basically all she wrote.
Mate, sounds like he was the underdog. Everyone's rooting for him, and you're a bit of the dirty champion.
Totally. I think when we sat down, everyone get him.
So in which I
don't hate, to be honest.
Which was your favorite or best matchup or worst matchup?
I incredibly enjoyed playing the games against Moody, as I always do.
Yep.
Just the amount of thought that he puts into his games, and it's so obvious that he does put into his games, make you feel like you're playing at Pro Tour. Like, it makes you feel like you're playing against one of the best players, and you probably, because you are, realistically. He's very, very good. But there's something about it that I could do it all day long. I love it.
Do you prep together?
Yeah, we test a lot together. He's notoriously superstitious, and so am I. Where we, like, if he goes and plays an event on the East Coast, he ever book his fights on a Tuesday. He has to, like, if he does poorly at a weekly with a certain set of sleeves, he'll have to, like, throw them in the bin and get a new set before PQ. Like, he's very superstitious, which I've sort of taken up. Like, he got out a pack of gum to chew in our match after game one. I was like, can I have some? No, he gives me some gum. Of course he does. He's like, and I'm like, I just can't let gum be the thing that makes the difference. Like, you had gum and I didn't, you won. I can't let that be the case. So give me some gum. So it's sort of a very superstitious.
So for those that are listening and learning, it's got nothing to do with reps and skill sets and working through and changing cards. It's about a pack of gum.
When you book your flights, a pack of gum and what sleeves you got on the day. It's really all that matters.
But that just says, hey, rock solid confidence. That's what it means. So now we're in our teach a noob session. this is a matchup that the world thinks is unfavoured to Sabine. Obviously, fourth throw's gone, but you saw the first week of post fourth throw ban. This is the number one deck at the moment. So besides Sabine, so I've just got me at your top 4 match against Sideboard. I've got it set at playback speed 2, and I am going at 6 hours, 24 minutes and 23. Shout out to Tibby for talking for that long.
So good.
And so what I'm going to do is I'll tell you when I'm going to play, but firstly, what are you thinking? What's going through your head in this matchup when you sit down against him? And I noticed you guys actually, instead of deck lists, you gave each other's decks to each other.
I think because you obviously have to give deck lists over, but that involves getting out your phones or printing them out. It's just easier just to show them your deck, just to be done with it. It's also pretty good because they're all information at that point, which is great. It just seemed easier.
So what's going through your mind? Walk us through.
Well, Timmy's coming off a PQ win.
Yep.
Like he's
PQ
literally trying to go back to back.
Yep.
Which everyone's sort of saying you're going back to back. I'm like, so was I, because we're both sort of trying to go back to back with it. But the thing about Tib is that he puts in a lot of work. He really thinks about his game and he sticks to a deck. And he's been playing this deck for a long time now. He understands what's going on, how the matchup works. However, I think with SWU in general, people are like, oh, you're unfavoured in the matchup, or I think you're a dog in this spot, or I think this deck's behind. By how much? Like, how much do you really think you're behind? Like Sabine into Palpatine, as an example. Sure, Palpatine's behind by a pretty significant margin. I get that.
Yep.
But Sabine ECL into Han, Blue Force, people saying, oh, it's not a good matchup. Not a good matchup by what? 3%, 5%, 7%? Like, sure, but these are the only games that matter are these 3 or these 2.
Yep.
So focus in on them. That's all that matters. And I don't care if you're a dog in the matchup. I don't care if you're behind. If you go into it thinking that you're behind, you will be behind.
Yep. You just got to play the cards and play the board today.
Play the cards. And that's what I sort of went into this matchup with. The other key component of this matchup that the best guy did a little challenge, I guess, for the East Coast, where that if you flew into Perth and played our PQ and managed to win it, Beskar would pay for your flight time. It was the return flight guarantee. So Tibby is sitting in front of me, having come to Perth to see the Perth guys do the stream, and I'm like, well, if I beat him, he's not going to get his flight back. But obviously, I'm very good friends with Beskar, so I'm like, well, I have to just play. Like, there's no point. We're just going to jam. So we sat down, shook each other's hand, and played the game.
Nah, stakes were high for him, I guess. Yeah. All right, now I'm just going to press play in 3, 2, 1. So you're shuffling?
Yes, I am shuffling.
You're a mass shuffler. Yeah.
I enjoy a good shuffle. He's very similar. So I think I win the die roll. Mm-hmm. I could be wrong though.
No, he gets the pick because he's high ranker than you.
Oh, of course, yeah. Of course. Ogdo Bogdo is how he kicks things off, and I think I kick it off with.
I think that's their best play, correct me if I'm wrong.
No.
What are you mulliganing for? A Battlefield Marine?
Generally you want to go in space. Yeah. You want to hit, Sabine's tie, or 2-drop into Chewy is where you want to be. Mm-hmm. But I think my hand was good enough that I'm not going to mulligan.
Now you pinged even though he had a 5 attacking beast. That's interesting.
Yeah, because I was going to trade with the beast, and the matchup really doesn't become about a race. They either get to Luke or they don't.
Makes sense.
They're dead. So the extra points on their base matter way more than extra points on yours. When it's something like Vader or the Mirror decks that really turn the corner on you, then Hard Green, you really have to consider whether you want to ping. In matchups like this, you just got to get as many points on base as possible.
He found a second Ogdo Bogdo, and you found your beautiful Sandari Peacekeeper.
Does. So luckily here I've got the Dark Saber, which gives me a really good option, which is to attack base. Oh, sorry, attack Yaddle, which he adds to the board.
So it's
with
board
my
control for you at this
Sabine.
point. Interesting. Yep.
Yeah, I mean Yaddle obviously chips away at how much damage you're doing base, but he also doesn't get a very good trade back with his Itinerant Warrior, so it just makes sense to clean that up. But it lets me put the +1/+1 counter on the Sidari Peacekeeper and then attack into the Ogdo Bogdo
Beautiful.
and not lose my Peacekeeper.
So now you're deliberating, do you whack or do you not whack? Why?
Well, I think you have to attack here into base. It's whether you want to clean up the itinerary. I've got a Poe in my hand at this point, so whatever he adds to the board, I can then kill the itinerant warrior with the Poe.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, he has an itinerant warrior, and
So
I get to.
you got rid of a rebel assault and fleet lieutenant. Yep.
And he's really forced to flip the Han at this point and attack into my Poe, which puts me in a really good position. I'm loving this spot.
Yeah, the board, amazing, and very
He
healthy
thinks-
Sabine as well.
Yeah, which is where you want to be.
Thibaut's face must have been a bit wrenched at the moment.
He wasn't loving this at this spot. He's pretty in the tank. Which, that's where you want to be.
Yeah.
I get to attack with my Sabine into his base,
I know-
putting him to 13.
I notice you point your fingers a lot. That's just you doing maths, I assume.
That's just, you got to count to. The no value Anakin here is an awesome spot for me to be in. I choose to wing leader the +2/+2 on my red 5. That's just a bit of hedging.
Yep.
I think there's a reasonable choice to put it on the Sabine, but I'm like, well, if he attacks with Anakin into Sabine, then I just get to red 5 it anyway.
Yep.
And I just generally try and go wider and taller when you can, rather than stack everything onto one throw.
Yeah, diversification makes sense.
Yeah. Well, Sabine's only dying to Rivals Fall or whatever, it's still very important.
So
So
he's
now I
on.
get to put a bunch of base, he goes to 20.
Yeah, he's the new force road you. Yep.
Yep, I think I have a Cassian in the row, so I'm feeling pretty good. Well, it's just this might be the 4 of course game where I double 4 of course. No, I think that's game 2.
So he could put Luke out.
Yeah, he chooses to
Why
chooses to do a
I
mix.
Oh, that's a Mace Windu. I was wondering why your
Yeah.
thing died. Yep.
I put him
Cassian.
to 25, and then I think I'm sitting on a fleet lieutenant here, which wraps it up.
For of course wraps it up.
4 of course wraps it up, as it has so often done.
Oh my god.
So that was game
it's,
1. I think he didn't quite have the hand. You'd think that double itinerant warrior would be in a good spot.
Although
But
Bogdo didn't get force. Yeah.
no, it didn't get the force. Which is sort of the risk you run with playing the Ogdo Bogdo version. And you sort of trim down on your...
What did you bring in on the matchup? Did you sideboard anything?
That's a really good question. I think I brought in a heroic sacrifice, but I think that's... I think I brought in the 2 confiscates.
Yep, for
which is wrong.
entrench.
For entrenched and for... I thought he had lightsabers in his deck, but he didn't. But entrenched is obviously still a good card, and the reason you want them. So
So much going through your mind, even though you checked his deck. You can't remember everything at this point.
no, it's tricky.
Yeah. I'm failing to see the crimp on your Sabine. She looks magnificent.
Nah, she's gouged. I'll send you some photos later. It's real rough.
I might have to use that for our thumbnail just to show a battle-hardened Sabine.
Yeah. I actually have two Sabine Folk showcases, because I have one that's a PSA 10 that
nice.
that I traded when I won the first PQ. I traded the promos for it.
Oh, nice.
Which I'm pretty happy about. So that one goes down in the memories box.
Very nice.
Okay, so we're going to game 2. I think we've got another Ogdo Bogdo start from our wonderful opponent. And Tim's he's really on top of his game. He's won last PQ. He's been doing really good. Been thinking really deeply about it. Plus doing all the community casting side of things.
Yeah,
We're very lucky to have him in our community.
100%. 100%. And your team, it keeps you guys fit and healthy and alcohol free.
Well, Come on. So I go to space here, but I'm immediately put under the cosh because Octobogdo, Carabastic, my A-wing. I think I have a Chewie in my hand, so I'm a little bit... Oh, sorry, wing leader. So I have to do the naked wing leader in this spot, which you never want to do, the naked wing leader.
Of course.
And at this moment in time...
I thought you lost. I thought you were going to lose, yeah.
I thought I was dead, for sure.
Yeah.
And I think... And, I've obviously talked this through with Tib. I think I do lose this game if Tib just takes a slightly different line at the end of the game.
Yeah.
But luckily for me, he didn't. But I'll take you through that when we get there.
Did you pass here?
Because I think it's a good learning.
Did
I pass there?
Yeah.
No, I think I flipped and then he tanked on putting Chariot in play.
Yeah.
I now have to actually think, because this is a spot where Chariot's actually doing something.
He doesn't
have the force.
Correct.
I have K2SO, I think, in my hand. So I'm trying to figure out whether I attack into Chariot and then...
Overwhelm.
And then ECL, my K2SO. But I also have Wrecker in my hand, I believe. So
Yep.
I really want to save Wrecker for that, ECL for the Wrecker. So I think attacking into Chariot and then just playing the K2SO is where I land with this decision.
And that was the right call, 100%.
I think so, but I'm still not 100%. Because I think my thinking was that if I attack into... then Octobogdo gets to eat my Sabine.
Yep.
And then I get to go over the top of the Ogdo for 6. But it means that neither of us have a board, except I've got the wing leader. I'm just feeling quite behind at that spot because he gets to... I guess I get to play a Poe. But I just felt like having more resources on was the better line.
No,
I'm not sure if that was right, looking at it now, to be honest. I was like, oh no.
You gotta play the cards in the board at the time.
Yeah, you do.
Except for Blake, which reads 3 turns ahead. Yeah.
So well, this is really weird. This is one of the moments that I'm quite unsure about, attacking into the K2SO with the Ogdo. You trade off, he takes 3. If he attacks into Sabine here, then he kills Sabine, and then I have to attack with K2. Like, it just, I'm not sure if that really lined up as well as you thought it was. I get to now play the Poe rather than and that's because I've got the Wrecker, right? So this would be a clear sign.
Yep, you claimed here, ready to ECL Wrecker. Yep.
Totally. I don't think you can not ECL Poe here unless you've got the Wrecker. So that should give him a clear sign. Yeah, I think he's in the tank here trying to figure out whether he's supposed to attack into the Poe or just go to base.
Such a chess match.
Yeah, so he plays Mace, then attacks, kills the Sabine, because I've claimed. So now I get to Wrecker, and I get to Wrecker to destroy the Han and attack over the Chariot. Mace then, and this is the key decision point that I think ends up losing Tib the game, that I think he's, at this point, you'd consider him a favourite to win this. So I Wrecker in, I kill the Chariot, I kill the Han, attack over the Chariot. He then decides to attack into my Poe, take Poe off the base.
Mm-hmm.
But he's on 9. So he really doesn't have to do this. And if he attacks base here, I go to 20.
Yep.
And then I have to attack into his base.
Correct.
Because otherwise he can claim and then just kill me, right?
But he was too tunnel visioned and wanted to take your Poe off the board. Yep.
Just kill the Poe. But I think he can absolutely set up a spot where I have to...
You got to take him out.
Basically play from behind then rather than in front.
Makes sense. So he had to play.
There,
he had to play aggro instead of control. This is the problem with blue players. They don't understand go to face. They don't understand.
They don't know how to turn sideways. I mean, this turn's relatively anemic from him as well. Dodgy 3 drops, which is lucky because I think any kind of potent threat there would have been incredibly problematic. I get to put him to 22 here. He gets to put himself down to 20 with an attack from Yoda. I get to 4 cause him for 3. Put the 3 on top. The 3 on top should immediately make you realise that there's another
4
cause.
Yep.
And he has Luke, and this I'm able to take it. But he has Itinerant Warrior that turn anyway.
What a game.
But, yeah, it was a great game. I mean, I think there's a lot of decision points at the end there that I think can go a different way for Tivi. But it was still, yeah, it was a great game. I really enjoyed playing it. I really enjoyed playing against him, which was a real honour, to be honest.
Got your champions cap in full sight. Awesome.
Scorches.
Mate, firstly, thank you so much for your time.
Of course.
Making time, you know, Star Wars dad, very, very busy. And
Very busy.
just as to finish off the video, we've done an amazing walkthrough. It's going to be really good to dive back in here, especially for those that enjoy Sabine. Mate, any shout outs and any comments about the state of SWU and the community and what FFG's doing? You know, how do you feel about it all? Yeah.
Yeah, I got a lot to say. I always do. I think there's two main topics around SWU that I think are really important. The first one is global, and the second one is in our own backyard. I think you have to, in many ways, being in Australia, especially being in WA, you kind of need to separate the two, because SWU and TCGs in general are built United States / Europe.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And when you live in Australia, you sort of get the rough end of the stick, which is fine. That's part of living in what I consider to be one of the best countries in the world.
Yep.
But
Yep.
which is why I try to separate my thinking. So when I first found out that Galactics was happening, the World Championships, I was super excited. But SWU streams up until that point had been fine, good, bit dodgy. Very homemade, very, ordered my kid off Temu kind of situation, which is great. I love the people. I love that it's democratized. I love to do it. Fantastic. But then I turned on Galactics, and it was this
next level,
incredible production.
Yeah.
It was these awesome commentators and these people playing the game that this is it. Like, this makes me so happy to see this game at this level. And it just completely energized and excited me for the future of SWU globally. And attendance numbers are through the roof. This is OP1. There's a lot to love about the future of the game, and I'm really excited to be part of it.
It was 2,000 or something, I think, yeah.
Yeah, it was huge. It was huge. And then PQ numbers this set have been roof. I mean, I think Melbourne's going to have 100 players.
I don't know. Hope so.
I think it's getting there, which is just phenomenal.
Yeah. I got a little Sabine player rocking up to that one. So.
Yeah, good, nice. I love that. And then you look into your local level, and obviously we don't get the glitz and glamour of Vegas or whatever unless you spend $1 million to fly there.
Yeah.
But what we do have is some really great community members who are really putting their time, effort, and love forward for the game, yourself included, the Baddest Batch guys, Onyx Squadron, basically anyone who's picked up a streaming and streamed a game of SWU and has entered a Discord channel, has played a Sunday night tournament, has posted on Facebook. There's this energy around this game that really, really, and I'm very excited for its growth in Australia and globally.
He's cut out there, my friend.
Oh, did I?
Yeah. But your excitement, your excitement came through.
Go SWU.
Hey, once again, I can't thank you enough for your time. Absolutely amazing insights, and thank you for being part of our community and being an absolute champion.
Thank you for